let me start out with this real quick. Then I'm serious. I swear I'm not doing a bit. The feedback that we get on Cowboys Talk this year, it's different year over year over year, but this year, you get it in the same exact segment. Like, I see it the same way that you do, Corey, and I really need people to help us out on the Twitch, on the YouTube, on the fan text. Are you more interested in hearing what could be conceived as good Cowboys news or bad Cowboys news? Because in the middle of the exact same segment, we will get, why are you idiots trying to pump up the Cowboys again? You know they're not going to be any good. And then you'll get another person saying, God, you guys are so negative. This team is going to be better than you think. And, like, I really want to know, is it diehard Cowboys fans who are, I guess, maybe upset, but they want to believe? Or is it diehard Cowboys fans who are upset and they want you to bash the team until you see something like in the playoffs? Or is it people who are like, every year's a new year, don't care about last year, this is our year, blah, blah. I'm really
buy into us, yeah.
I'm really interested in the breakdown because it seems like anytime we talk Cowboys, hopefully people are listening, but people on either side get very upset.
All right, well, as soon as those texts start to come in, because I'm starting to see some come in, Kevin, they're asking if you're going to wear your Steelers gear out here, since Mike's not here to wear his Chiefs gear, and you're a huge Steelers fan.
He would, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and from the 817, God, it feels so good to have the Cowboys dominating segments, good or bad, didn't matter.
Okay.
Just give me more, please.
All right.
And so that's, listen, man, we are a show of the Tolos, and we always have been. We also talk about what we want to talk about because we say what we do things. So let's get after some of these conversations because, Kevin, there are things. I just got a message from a friend. He's like, Ryan Flournoy, I care about him. I picked him up in a dynasty league.
Yeah, and some people think he'll be in the mix for wide receiver number 3, obviously.
Yeah, so like that's one of those, hey, let's keep an eye on some of these younger players. What are they going to be doing out here that's going to set up for maybe something good this season? Even if you think that they might be in that kind of mediocre standing at the moment. From
the 817, and I think this is fair. I just want the Cowboys news without these sarcastic undertones. Like, clearly I get what that is alluding to, so we will present the news good, bad, whatever.
That sounds good.
Hopefully without the sarcastic undertones.
Look, man. We're a sarcastic show. We always have been.
I think they mean additional sarcastic tones.
You're sarcastic. We'll be a little sarcastic about things. That's the yeah. Mike's famous. So.
All right. Well, let me throw out some options for you to start out. Then
I love options.
And Corey, I definitely want to know from you, but I also want to hear from the people. Okay, Dallas Cowboys storylines: care or don't care. All right? The return of Ezekiel Elliott. Care or don't care?
Well, I mean, I do care because he's your starting running back right now.
Ooh, we'll get to that in a second.
I mean, if you look at the depth chart, there's about 9 running backs.
Yes, we do have a lot of running backs.
And you don't feel like any of them are real legitimate number 1 guys. But can you have a Dak Prescott run offense where he doesn't need a number 1 guy? He just needs, somebody who can pick up these blocks, somebody who can get the tough yards when they need to get the tough yards. You don't necessarily have to be a team that hands it to the running back on first down all the time. If Dak Prescott is the kind of quarterback that can command the type of money that is expected this offseason. So, yeah, Zeke being here is one of those things where I'm like, all right, he's your starter. That changes the landscape of the way Mike McCarthy calls this offense. So I have to care about it just enough. The other thing, too, is, we talked with Mickey every week last week.
Right.
Or last year. And what would he bring up frequently if they missed on short yardage?
Were you there?
No, well, he wouldn't say that.
Oh, okay.
He would say, hey, by the way, I do have an awesome picture of Mickey to post this year every time we have him on the show, thanks to Carter Freeman. But he's on a horse. The other thing, though, is every time they would fail in those situations, Mickey would bring up, look, you didn't have Zeke, who he excels in those moments, the short yardage.
Yeah, and I would make a strong argument he used to excel in those, and now he's closer to the mean than people think. A lot of early votes right here are they don't care about Zeke, return individually, but you made reference to it. My next question was going to be Dallas Cowboys care or don't care. Who the hell is running back one? Because I know you said it's going to be Zeke. I'm curious if that's the way it's going to stay. I'm curious what kind of moves the Cowboys might still have up their sleeve in the next month or so. Because as you pointed out, there's a whole bunch of people here, but it feels like a whole bunch of people who you're like, yeah, okay, he could be the second or third back.
Yeah. I don't have a name that excites me as a number one. So is camp going to be a decider on that? I don't know that.
I think it. Is it weird if I tell you I think it is, but not what happens at this camp? I think it's what happens at other camps, and if they move on from people. And no, I cannot confirm if Mike is at Jags or Chiefs camp. I do not believe that is the case.
That is what I was told.
I was told that is not the case.
He was making a run around on both of them this year.
I don't know that to be the case, but I honestly think something that happens in another camp is maybe going to give you the answers for Cowboys running back one.
That's an interesting thought because that's one of the things the Cowboys look forward to is cuts. That's another part of their free agency.
Yeah.
So that is something that they look forward to for sure. So I'm interested to see that too. But, man, Kevin, it could be a situation too where based on the opponent, if you have the right running back for that game, hey, look, we need a faster guy in this game.
Yeah.
We need a stronger guy in this game. We need somebody who can get tough yards. They may go with hot hand. They may just go whoever's hot. Or they may just be like, look, we're throwing the ball this year. We're turning Dak and Aaron Rodgers, live or die. We'll see how it goes.
I see a lot of people don't care about running back one either. However, this is my favorite text maybe so far. I couldn't care less about the Cowboy segments. I'm just waiting for Battle of the Beast to get this bankroll going back up. That is a great
If we do Battle of the Beast
point
out here, we're going to destroy all the equipment that DJ's set up out here.
Oh, man.
Because I have to hit the table. That's just part of it.
All right. Care or don't care, Trey Lance.
I care.
Now, you can... Why?
Because I want to see what he... I haven't seen anything out of this guy.
I understand.
Kevin, this goes back to when he was drafted. I didn't see enough out of him when before he was drafted.
Sure. Neither did 49ers.
Since he has played, I have not seen enough out of him. I have no clue what this guy is.
Right.
I have zero clue. So I do care because I want to know the commodity. Is it tradable? Is it something that you can say that's an asset to us? So, yeah, I absolutely do care about Trey Lance and where he stands in this whole thing.
I still continue to wonder. I know everyone will say the right thing, and they're clearly not going to come out and say it like this, but I do wonder if the Cowboys are like, all right, if Dak weren't going to be here, that's a $40 million hit on the cap. But if we gave Trey Lance that, like, old, go back just a little bit, Jordan Love contract, not the one he wants to get now, maybe that would work and still fit in at a reasonable cap number. I have no idea if that is what they're thinking, but I feel like if you're examining all possible outcomes, that would at least cross your mind. Clearly, you would take a step back, maybe a huge step back. All right. Care or don't care? And I've already seen people ahead of time say that they don't care about this. All the contract things, because that's how it's going to go. When we have Jerry on when Jerry's on for the presser, he's going to get asked a plethora of questions about CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, like again and again and again. And I think you're going to get a lot of answers of, well, there's only a certain amount of pie, but then when eventually the deals get signed, it's the greatest thing ever.
CeeDee Lamb is slated to be fined $40,000 for every day that he misses camp.
That's a lot.
I think. The qualifier in that, Kevin, the little note that's the catch for you, he's still on his rookie contract, which means they can bypass all of that because he's still on his rookie contract.
Oh, really?
Yes. So he can stay out as long as he wants. And the Cowboys can go, you know what? We're good because he's still on his rookie contract. So I don't care because this Mike kind of laid this out. And I think, man, more and more, he might be right. This is just to keep headlines rolling. This is a thing that you're just like, look, man, we'll eventually get this deal done.
Yeah.
And it's going to be for the price that, you guys think you deserve. It's going to get done. But whenever you see that, there's no real pressure on it because both sides, the agent and the ownership, know exactly what they're doing here.
I want to read this text and try to set expectations from the 682. Sell the team, fire Jerry. Can't wait for these changes this season. rooting for failure for a team reset. Now, if you mean a team reset in terms of the roster, I think there's a possibility you get that. If you're talking about a front office reset, it's not going to happen. My recommendation would be put it in a compartment and lock the door and just don't let it get out again, because it's going to drive you insane. I don't care if the Cowboys go 0-17 and lose every game by 42 points. That's not going to change anything with the ownership group. You need to put that out of your mind. It's not going to happen.
And from the 469, contract holdouts are upsetting because holding out for more money and then you're not good, it's frustrating for a blue-collar guy. Kevin, I've taken this stance.
Okay, tell me.
With Dak in his last contract. Look, man, the company has a lot more money than you.
Sure.
And they're going to try and squeeze all the work out of you for the short period of time that they have you. This is not just in football. This is in every other business as an employee out there. I'm rooting for employees, man. You go out there and you try and get every nickel you can out of the company, show them why you're valuable, be valuable to them, and then show them, hey, this is why I deserve this money, and then continue to do the quality of work that you did to get that money as well. But I'm never rooting against a player that's asking for more money, whether it be millions or $20,000 more dollars. I'm rooting for the employee to try and get theirs from the company. Now, you, on the other hand, you're a big-time company guy. I know that about you.
No,
but I'm rooting for every player to get something out of the billionaire owners.
No. I could see how it would come off as I'm a company guy. I want the Cowboys to win, and I want everyone to take less money to make it happen because we don't have a competent enough front office to win when all things are level. It's unfortunate that the incompetence of the front office affects the players like this. That's not fair. But we're not good at putting together a team that can win in the playoffs. That has been proven time and time and time again. And unfortunately, that trickles down out to the players, because I think in my mind, the only way we can win is if all you take discounts. But if you're the player, why the hell would you take a discount?
The one thing on the front of contracts that I do get concerned about, though, is a lot of people are like, well, it's down the road. I'm not going to have them for the next 4 years, or what's about next year? I am really focused on this year. And, like, how are those contracts going to affect their play this year, their status this year, McCarthy's situation? How does he change that from being the lame duck coach to being we turned this into a success story? The guys rallied around me, and now I got a job back, and I'm here for a while because we were good this year, better than anybody anticipated. And now the Joneses are looking at it going, we got a team. Let's go after something. Let's go make some additions to make this an even better team. So those kind of things, I'm not worried about the next 3 or 4 years down the road. I want to focus on this year. But I understand, Kevin, when you're budgeting, when you're accounting, you got to start thinking about those things.
Yeah, and look, the numbers in my checkbook don't talk back to me. Yes, I still have a checkbook. They're not like, hey, that's not fair. Why are you wasting money over here? And so that is the genius of just dealing with the checkbook versus humans. I understand why all of these Cowboys players would be like, and what are you going to do with that discount money I give you? What is your track record to show me that you're going to succeed?